Welcome back, part 5 of the UCI construction, and we are essentially here. We're going to do some interesting things in this lesson. We're going to add some layers to this page, the input to configuration page, and using these layers we're going to be able to slide them on and off, so we can use the things and then flip them back. Which is really cool. So we're going to set up an infill HPF layer and a delay set layer. We're only going to start the delay set layer here. We're going to do the HPF one. But what we are going to do is initiate that sliding on and off from this page using a new concept called a UCI Layer Controller. So before we do that, I just want to tidy a couple of things up. Here's where we left the design, and there's a couple of things I just want to tidy up because they don't look very good. You'll notice these, even though we know these are the same size, these two boxes, because we sized them, you'll notice they're not lined up exactly. So I'm going to actually move this one a bit over to sort of even it up a little. That looks a bit better. The other thing you'll notice, these text boxes and these group boxes are sort of not really lining up at the corners. That's because these text boxes have a thing called corner radius turned on, and they're on 8 at the moment, and if we turn them to 0, they turn into squares, and now the text box lines up. So this is just a setting that you need to understand about some of your boxes. All right, so that's nice. I'm going to move these up and to the left a little, closer to there. I'm also going to tidy this. This looks a bit rubbish. I'm just going to move that up to there. Oh, I didn't actually want to do that. Undo. Quite my tempo. There we go. The other thing, these aren't lined up. You'll notice this little text box here is sort of hanging off the end. There's an easy fix for that. Right click on your mouse and we are stacking to the top, and that's just drop that back in. We can tidy up other stuff on your own time, if you want to. So this looks a little bit nicer now, which is worthwhile. So let's start adding these new layers. We're on layer 2, as you know. Let's lock layer 2, and when we lock it, it just means we can't really do anything to it. So if I can't select anything, I can't move it. This is good. We've got it where we want it. So I was going to select this. I'm going to add a layer over the left-hand side here. This layer I'm going to call delay set. Good. We don't have to do anything else with that yet. Although we should probably, while we're here, we'll just make it. Oh, it's gone a bit silly. I just want to be able to see it. Down. Sizing windows is sometimes unpredictable. I'm now going to open my background images. These have also moved around. And I'm going to do a slightly different image for these ones. I have been using the still plate, but I'm not sure I like that so much. Just to be different, I might use the gold. Why not? Why not? It doesn't matter. So dragging and dropping. I'm going to, so my normal size, I'm going to set up a window size. And I kind of would like it to pretty much block out those, but leave a bit available down here. So that's going to be my layer for delay set. I'm now going to lock that. Cool. I'm now going to add another layer. I'm going to call this infill HPF, because that will be what is on this layer. Place it, I've locked that. So now we're on infill HPF. I'm going to bring up my little images again. Grab that gold one more time. because I've left the other one visible, I should be able to just size them to be identical. That's pretty nice. Good. Once again, I'm going to lock that image in place so it doesn't mess with us. Okay, so infill HPF. Let's build this page out first, and then we'll do our layer control. Now, I can still get back to the main page if I want to, should I need to do that at any point here. Good one. Let's go to the system. This looks like it's going to be a bit complex to build out, but it's not. It's quite simple. It's all from this selector down here that I have created. I'm not sure whether you have that yet. But this is the one we want. I'm going to leave that open because I want to grab these labels eventually. But the first thing I'm going to grab is just these selector buttons. I'm going to copy them because they're in the design. We want to leave them there just to show where they are more than anything else, not to actually change them, although we could if we needed to. If we were testing without using the UCI. I'm going to pull them out here to probably around about that size. It's a nice first hit, and of course change them over to our purple color that we've been using. Good. We also need these. So this is indicating the label and the value. Once again, copy and paste up here. When it cooperates, sometimes it takes a few clicks. I don't really get that. Good. Here. Yeah, sort of. Let's tidy you up. Probably be a little longer. Cool. Now let's grab these labels, which incidentally are lined exactly up with. I can drag and drop these because they're part of a component. Oh, actually did it. Last time I attempted that, it was being painful. Okay, this is sort of a good start. Let's just make these a little longer because there's really not going to be much on this page. Cool. Let us select that and that. We're going to make all of the text 18. So bold, my favorite font, you all know this by now. Okay, that's good. Let's make a little text box so that we know what the 110 is, or the users know what the 110 is. We want a stroke width of 1 so that it has the outline. Once again, we'll do our settings. And I want to type hertz so that people know what the 110 is, 110 hertz. Cool. The other part that we do need is this bypass up here from the stereo high pass filter, which is obviously on our infill. Again, this is one that we will copy because we want to leave it on the design. We know what happens if we drag and drop it, it disappears off the design. Put a bypass down here. Good, and we shall the bypass isn't really showing up there. Let's do 20. Yeah, that's a bit better. Now this button is all wrong. I don't like it, but as you see, and as we already know, I can't really select that. So just move this out of the way for now, and then we can move the button about. We'll probably do a little bit down like so. That's lining up with, oh, something on another page. So now I can grab the text box and just shift it up around it. So it's kind of in a better spot. All right, that's kind of better, I think. Maybe not. Maybe the bypass should be further over. Oh yeah, I have to move this to select it. Okay, good. Here's an interesting one. We can change this by moving it around, which is fine, but we can also change it with the position if we wanted to. Let's see what happens if we go 570. Ooh, it's just over just about where I wanted it to go. press 575. Yeah, so you can actually key in exactly where you want the position to be, which is nice. I'm sure you've probably kenned that by now, just from looking at it. But nevertheless, now you know either way. Oh, this is being so frustrating. That'll do. I don't want to spend any more time on it. Good. Okay. It's been tricky. Okay, we're leaving it there. I will put a text box on this, a different text box, just to say what it is. So we can Alt, pull this down here. Actually, let's put it up here so that we can see it. Say infill HP presets. Okay, so that's done. Let's lock this page for now. And now we should get onto our UCI layer controller. We're going to use a UCI layer controller along with our old friend the Selector, actually, and you'll see why once we start implementing it. So I'm actually going to put this on a different part of the design. I've got a second page to the design. Here's the initial page that we've been working with and from. And there it is, as you know, this is the one we've been using. Is that 100%? It all fits on? Okay. I've also made this legend, which is just containing the information. It's the color coding for the different systems, just to show what they are. And this input to config, just documented more than anything else, as a reference point. And I was able to use these labels that I'd set up to remind myself what the presets were on the actual interface itself, back in the page that we're using. But the good thing about having this legend page is it's going to allow us some extra space to work in, which we want. Now I've got both properties and components here. So the first thing I want to do is say UCI Layer Controller. And if you just put that in, the layer controller comes up. Okay, so we have a UCI Layer Controller. That's a pretty thing to have. And if you look at it, you'll see it's really just got 2 layers on it at the moment, but that's because it's pointing to the main page, which is not where we want to have this operating. We actually want to have it operating on this delays infill set page. And now these come up, delay set, infill, HPF. And what I wanted to do is reveal some pins. And what I want to reveal is the visibility pins. And for layer 2 as well, visibility. Because you can turn on and off the visibility of various parts of your design. Like if I go back to the interface and I go to infill HPF and I go to this little eye here, show hide, it goes away. Now we've got delay set, that goes away. I can actually get rid of that layer, even that layer. I can go right back to the fill. So here we are, we're on infill HPF. So I'm going to start with these 2 not visible. And then I'm going to use the UCI layer controller to reveal them by use of the selector. If I open this up and emulate, you'll see that I have the option to show different layers with the touch of a button. And at the moment, layer 2, which is visible, is on. Layer 1, which is visible, is on. These are not on. Let's have a look where we are. Okay, let's do that. Delay set is now there. Let's do that. That's there, which is fine, but now I have all of them on. I actually don't want them all to be on. So let's get out of this mode. And let's find our old friend, the Selector. Wonderful. We really don't need to do anything too much in the Selector itself, apart from reveal Selector 1 and Selector 2, because you'll notice there's already a value pin out once any pin out is allowed to be there. And because I want layer 2 to be visible all the time, any value hitting that will keep layer 2 visible. So that's cool. Selector 1 will select the delay set. Selector 2 will select the infill set. So if I just connect these up in a straight line like so, it's more straightish. Oh, this can really drive one mad. That's sort of straight. Okay, this should now work. I'm going to grab these 3 buttons. I'm going to copy them, go to my interface, and I'm going to paste these down here. Oh, it's locked. We can't do that. Delays infill set. I want to be on layer 2. I want to unlock that layer. Now I can paste. Okay. Good. Let's stack them horizontally and make them a little bigger. That's maybe a bit big. Cool. I'm going to just set like so. First things first, let's make them into that purple that we're doing everything with, and rejig them so they're in a nice line with our distribute. There you go. Now they're in a beautiful nice line. I'm going to call this delay set. Call this infill HPF, and I call this back. And again, we can just zip up. I'll leave them Roboto. Why not? I'm going to call it 12. Yeah, just so we know what they are. Now, the one thing I'm going to check here first, I want these to line up with the main page. Now, while I'm on this, it's kind of easy to do that. That's good. And we know we can do that because that's where those other pages, if I make them visible, end. Okay, so we can see these down here. That kind of looks okay. Let's unvisible for a second. I might put them down the bottom though. But if you were starting something and you wanted to just have nice lines where you wanted to have it, what you can do is if you go over to the left of the screen, you'll notice that I've got this line appearing. This is cool. If I double click, that line will stay there. And then I could do the same up the top. That didn't work. I can just clear guides. Unfortunately, you have to clear them. It clears all the guides. Make sure that's there. Double click. Now that's locked in. They're exactly where you want it. And double click. Now you have lines, and these will stay across pages. So you can actually use them to line up all of your pages together. This may come in handy later on. Delays infill set on layer 2. Good. Or we can clear all guys. Line up. Okay, wonderful. Let's emulate and see if this works or not. I'm really hoping it does, or this is going to be a very short video. Okay, we're on this page. Let's go delay set. Oh, let's put that up. Let's go infill HPF. This is our infill HPF page. This is all very good. And if we go back, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now, I did notice something. They just kind of appear really fast. I'm not sure I want that to be the case. Here's this other little box in the UCI Layer Controller. It's called transition. I'm going to change these. I'm going to do top and bottom. And let's see what that does to our interface now. It comes up from the bottom. That's very pleasant. And that comes down from the top. And then we go back. And it zips off. That's a little more pleasant to the eye. A little bit like our rejigging of the fader resets with a ramp time on them. It's just pleasant. That's fantastic. We've done what we need to do here. We are going to make this page next, the delay set. Here it is. I can find it with the button. And this involves us bringing in a custom plugin from the outside world and putting it into Designer. This will be a thrilling little exercise. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.